Do you know what full coverage is in Ohio for your automobile insurance, your car insurance? No? Well, hey, stick around because you're going to be surprised about the answer. Because there is no such thing. How's it going, everyone? I'm Joey Giangola with Giangola Insurance, and today we're going to be talking about full coverage on your car for your insurance policy. And spoiler alert, guess what? There is actually no official term full coverage in insurance. It doesn't exist. It's kind of been made up by people as a way to describe the type of coverage that they want. But ultimately, there's a lot of different coverages that you can add on to your mandatory liability coverage that you need to actually just be legal to drive your car. So I want to go ahead and just walk through the different types of coverage that make up the full coverage kind of perception that you have as far as when you pick up the phone and say, hey, I want full coverage, and exactly what that means. So there are three sections of the auto insurance policy that are mandatory that you have to have and you're going to get no matter what. Those are your bodily injury coverage, the liability coverage, and property damage coverage. That's all packaged into the limits of liability that you're going to get on your policy. So bodily injury is obviously when you hurt somebody in a car accident. Property damage is obviously when you damage somebody's property. And those are instances where you are held liable to pay for those damages. That's the part that you have to have because the state of Ohio doesn't want you behind the wheel of a car if you can't at least pay for a minimum amount of those potential harms that you could cause somebody. The other kind of half mandatory thing that you're going to get on your auto insurance policy is uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage. Now, basically, this is liability coverage in case you are involved in an accident with somebody who does not have insurance or does not have enough insurance. And it will protect you as far as if you are injured yourself and they don't have coverage to help pay for your care. So now that can be taken off, but again, if it does, you're going to need to sign an actual statement saying that you want this coverage to be taken off. So it's going to always be included up front, but if you want it removed, you can, and you'll just have to sign a piece of paper saying that you don't want it and that you've been presented with it, all that formal legal dotting of the I's, crossing the T's sort of stuff. Really, the meat and potatoes of full coverage come with the next four options, and that is comprehensive, collision, rental reimbursement, and towing are generally the big ticket items that make up full coverage. Collision coverage is anytime you hit another vehicle or stationary object, other than an animal. Animals don't count, so don't go smash a deer and all of a sudden expect it to be under your collision. That's going to fall under comprehensive. Comprehensive is going to be anything other than collision. So if it doesn't fall in those two categories that we just mentioned, then it's going to go under comprehensive. Let's say something falls on your car while it's in the driveway, tree limb, glass breaks, whatever else have you. All that kind of stuff is going to be under the comprehensive portion of your coverage. And then you have rental reimbursement and towing. So if you are involved in an accident and your car is not able to be driven for a while, you can have some rental reimbursement. You can have payment for towing if the car can't be driven to where it needs to go. And again, those are the elements that make up full coverage. So if you're looking for full coverage, that's what you're getting. That's what you're actually asking for. But just know that's actually not a real official insurance term. So I don't know how it got started, but it is what it is, and that's full coverage. So the advice in all this is that just because you think you should have full coverage, and just because somebody told you that you should have full coverage doesn't necessarily mean that you need it or should want it. It really comes down to identifying what type of car you have and if it's actually worth having full coverage on. If you're rolling around in your 1996 Oldsmobile Aurora, well, chances are that the cost to replace that car is probably less than what it might actually cost to provide full coverage. Normally full coverage is going to be something that you're going to seriously want to consider on any newer vehicle that you're going to want to keep around for a while and keep running in tip-top shape and looking nice. And that's really where the comprehensive and the collision come in. If you're involved in an accident in an older car, you hit a deer or something like that, and there's several thousands of dollars of damage done, well, guess what? That car is probably not even worth that. So it will actually probably be totaled. So if you just rolled a new Mercedes off the lot, well, yeah, you're probably going to want full coverage on that thing. But again, if you're shopping at Don's Used Cars and it has wood paneling on the side, well, full coverage might be optional. That's all I'm saying. So there you go. There's a quick breakdown of full coverage, what it is, and why you may or may not need it. Of course, this is today's insurance question. And remember, we are doing this 5 days a week. Every day we are open for business. We're going to be answering a question for you. If you have a question that you would like to see answered, feel free to leave a comment below. Be happy to answer it in an upcoming video. And if you want to know a little bit more about your specific situation as far as your auto insurance goes, full coverage, if it may be needed, if it's not needed, to kind of assess that situation, well, I'd be glad to talk with you a little bit further about that to help you understand, again, the details of your specific situation that might not be able to be addressed in such a broad sense here. So feel free, reach out to me in an email, phone call. Information is below this video for you to do that. Would love to hear from you and talk with you a little bit. But of course, as always, I am Joey Giangola with Giangola Insurance. Take it easy, everyone.